Street Fighter?
Here, yes, you got it. Here we are, my friends. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Just checking if YouTube is working, and we'll see. YouTube, are we live? Apparently we are. And I'm in good company today. Kai Lun-Ku is going to be painting alongside us because the point of this live stream is like we paint together, we share inspiration because inspiration is something worth sharing. Hello Kai, how are you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm good, Thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. Such a pleasure to have you. So, if you don't know who Kai Lun-Ku is, I'm gonna show you his website. Amazing painter, mostly doing alla prima, but imagine alla prima mixed with pop culture references and, you know, super modern themes and colors. So you've got something like this, amazing art. You know how I'm a sucker for fire, and if you like this kind of stuff, you'll find a lot of fire, really cool chromatic compositions with lights. I mean, it's light and color overload. I like this. Really cool.
Thanks,
how
man,
would you describe, Kai? How would you describe your art?
Honestly, I feel like the way I would describe my art is someone who's, you know, someone who's been doing alla prima, someone who's been trained in alla prima. Finally just letting go of expectations of what alla prima painters can or should do, and instead just painting what it is, especially for people my age who grew up with like comics and video games. Like, you know, it's using those skills to finally depict things that you know, that I actually care about. So
yeah,
just having
cool.
fun with it.
You know, I also had Alpai Effer recently on the stream as a guest.
Yeah, Alpai, yeah.
And he also does a lot of this stuff. Really cool. He
does,
was actually painting a Digimon, and you are going to be painting a Superman. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell me, yeah. Is this finished already?
No, it's not. It's not. So I started this like
looks as good as
2 days ago. Oh, thank you, man. No, I started this 2 days ago, and it's a commission that for one of my clients. Shout out to Chris. She's like an avid collector of mine. So I think she's already collected like many of my paintings already, and so this is one of the bigger ones that she commissioned me to do, and I felt kind of bad because she commissioned
we lost your
this.
cam, Kai. I don't know if it's okay. It's on. It's
back.
Maybe I don't know if it's out of focus or maybe it's
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it?
Maybe
it's
it's just kind of pixely on my end. Oh, it's better now.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I just adjusted like the sharpness.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you have fixed focus?
No, I can adjust the focus.
Okay.
I can adjust the focus. So yeah.
Perfect.
But yeah, like I felt kind of bad because I had her like she commissioned this like last year during San Diego Comic-Con, and that was last June. So I'm finally starting this June, and I'm just grateful that she has the patience to just wait for the painting to come out.
Awesome.
But yeah, you know.
So do you have a lot of commissions like that?
Yeah, ever since I started this whole pop culture thing, it's just kind of been, you know, I actually had to take a bit of a break or a hiatus from teaching full time, because, you know, I just kept getting, you know, constantly kept getting commissions. And that's something that I didn't realize, because when I was doing like the fine art thing, I didn't get that many commissions. I mean, besides the few times where I was doing like pet portrait commissions, you know, people will message me, ask me to paint their pets, but it was still very sporadic, right? But it was only when I started, you know, venturing into like Comic Cons, and that's a funny story I can get into a little later too. But you know, and then I started actually painting the stuff that I actually like.
I think it's interesting because, like, for a lot of people just beginning, maybe doing commissions is like the dream gig, like dream job, but I don't know, for some artists, I don't know, they have mixed feeling on commission. It's like, it's always good like when money's coming in, but there's always, you know, the fact that you don't necessarily get to paint the stuff that you really want to paint. But like, it seems that you managed to get commissions of stuff that you kind of like painting, though. That how do you do that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because again, like I always wanted to paint stuff like this. It's just I always felt, you know, due to the stigma of us being from where we are, like, you know, in the fine art circle, right? People don't really do fan art or do paintings of pop culture stuff. It's usually like the more classical figures and stuff, or classical subject matters. So then I always felt like, oh, I had to like paint those subject matters in order for people to, you know, like take me seriously as an artist, right? But the moment when I'm like, you know what, I don't care. I'm just like, life is too short. You know, I have this like the skill that I built up over the course of like 10 years. Why am I not using it to create things I actually like? So, you know, I started doing that, absolutely. And then people resonated with that. So all the clients now that I get, all the people who commission me, we all shared the same love for like a similar kind of thing. Like we all love the same characters.
Yeah, there's already
so
a common
every time they're like,
culture,
yo,
you don't have to.
It is. It's not like, oh, paint my dog or paint my wife or whatever, right? It's more like, hey, dude, you love Batman? Dude, I love Batman. Can I pay you to paint me like a Batman? Which Batman do you like? I'm like, dude, I love like, you know, this Batman. You're like, oh my god, me too. That'd be so cool. Okay, I'm like, yeah. And then it's more like an excitement kind of thing. So it's more like a collaborative thing where, you know, we both enjoy and love the subject matter. They're just excited to see me bring it to life, and I'm just excited to work on it just because, you know, we both love it. So I say commission, but I don't feel like it's commissions anymore. I feel like it's just a labor of love, where I'm painting the things that I would already be painting.
That's pretty cool.
You know, even if I wasn't being paid, it just so happens that they're paying me. So
yeah, and that's pretty cool that you get to be to find this spot. It's because the culture is already there. So like you already share the passion with your patrons.
Yeah.
And I have to say, for people who do only, you know, portraits or pet portraits, stuff like that, in this case, it's like really the commissions are kind of a chore sometimes.
It is. That was me. That actually was me, because if you go down my Instagram, scroll back like 2 years before, you'll see it's all animals. It's all pets.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean you don't have to do that, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
I was going to, and we got interrupted. Okay. I wanted to show what you were going to make today.
Oh. Okay. So, okay. Cool.
I'm gonna show you Instagram, by the way. So oh man, I didn't put your links in the description. I'm gonna do that just right after I show this. And I'm gonna say hi to everybody in chat. Hello, Scott. Scott says, Kai's technical knowledge almost makes some of his stuff transcend from just being fan art. Absolutely. And to me, it's definitely not fan art. It's fine art, but you know, I don't know, fine art kind of has a bad connotation, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was talking to a lot of my reps, and I say, like, my thing is I want to bridge fan art and fine art, so that way, you know, it's more accessible on both ends, you know, so people who enjoy the things that, you know, where it's not traditional subject matters, they still will feel compelled to continue to train and do this. And
plus, in your case, you've worked for these companies, so it's not just fan art; it's actually art that you made for some of these.
I guess some of it is not really considered fan art. Like the stuff I did for Marvel Snap, that's not really fan art, because I was doing it more just, you know. As
the pets right here. I'm reaching the pets.
Yeah, you see the pets. Yeah, I mean, that's still, if you keep going down even more, like you'll see even more. Like then we get to the thick of it, and you see me like slowly inching my way into pop culture, right? Like there's a few paintings here and there that gets in. This is like the transitional phase. You're at the transition right now. Because I'm seeing what you're seeing on my phone. I have the live stream loaded up on my phone, and then It started out
I
with like
mean,
space monkeys.
I'm sad to say it's a sad news for pet portraiture that you left.
Oh,
You were really
thank.
good,
I mean,
man.
honestly, thank you. I mean, I still do pets. Like, I have some of my friends sometimes they'll still commission me to do pets.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
What on earth is this guy?
Yeah, so very different. Very, very different like 2 years ago. This was back when, you know. Yeah. That was actually for one of my favorite clients. She basically I think she commissioned me to do like I think 7 or 8 paintings. And she has like so many dogs and yeah. That Baby Yoda one, that one actually was one of the first ones.
The Baby Yoda, which
That
one?
oh, I think you scrolled past.
Oh
So
yeah,
if you go up,
yeah, we saw it in the on your website.
yeah. The Baby Yoda one.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah. So that one actually was a demonstration that I was doing because like I was doing this weekly demonstration class for Sentient Academy, and some of my students one time was that was recorded from the class. That was like an hour and a half session, but yeah, I initially was like, because like some of them were a little young, like some of the students, and I was like, okay guys, what do you guys want me to paint this week? And they're like, you're telling us the technique that you teach us allows you to paint anything, right? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, so what do you want? Like animals, like landscapes? You're like, can you paint baby? Because that's when like Mandalorian was like a thing. So they're like, can you paint Baby Yoda? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't really paint stuff like that. And they're like, come on, what are you scared? Like I'm like, what? No, I'm not scared. They're like, then paint Baby Yoda for us. I'm like, okay, I will. And I was so happy that I did because it was the most fun I've ever had painting. And it just came out so smoothly and effortlessly. Like it wasn't kind of like pulling teeth like some of my other paintings. So from then on, I was like, man, this is so fun. I want to have more excuse to do this. How do I like what are the I didn't know what Comic-Con was that time. Like I didn't know any of this thing was. Like I was just, still painting in my studio and just like, yeah. And actually how I'll just, if you don't, I can get into a little bit of like how I got into this. But my fiance, Jessica, she's an amazing artist, like amazing artist. For people who are fans of like Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, like she makes art for them. But yeah, we initially first started out going to anime conventions because she started trying to sell her work at anime conventions, and I was going out to help her sell, which I enjoyed doing. Like I was happy doing that, right? And she was making a very good almost career out of it. Like she was making way more than she was at her day job, to the point where she actually is now doing it full time. Like she's just traveling to shows full time now. But one day, I think around like after half of a year of her doing it, we were walking around and we were at a Comic-Con, and she saw somebody who was doing digital art trying to make these like realistic portraits of like Marvel DC characters. And I think they were trying to make it look like oil paintings too. They even printed out and printed on canvas. And she's like, wait, you can actually oil paint these. Didn't you do that, Baby Yoda? And I'm like, I guess. She's like, why don't you try doing this? And I'm just like, you think I should? Like, it took some convincing from her and a couple other friends, but I did it. I tried. So the first Comic-Con that I attempted to enter my work in was WonderCon. That was the sister show to San Diego Comic-Con. I managed to get a table somehow. And yeah, I went to my work, and just everything just blew up after that. Like,
oh, that's pretty cool. So, do you see yourself staying in this field for a while, or do you think you're gonna explore something different at some point?
Honestly, I don't even know what this field even is right now, because I'm still just like, I feel like I'm doing so many different things right now. Like I'm like the stuff that I was doing for Marvel, that was for their game, where I was creating the paintings, and those paintings turned into like the things that they put in the games, right? And the recent project that I'm doing is for like a book illustration. Like they're going to include my paintings in the book. Can't really say too much about that yet because the project has not been announced. But Yeah, so I think I'm just doing a lot of different things. I think my whole goal is just to introduce or just to kind of let people know that oil painting is still a thing. So I think that is still my goal, which is just to demystify oil painting to other circles of art that's not the oil painting circle. Because I really feel like people who are not within the oil painting circle, they tend to like demystify or mystify oil painting in a way where they're like, oh, it's too hard, or oh, it's
Yeah, it's mostly digital, right?
Digital, or like, you know, for people who are doing traditional, I find a lot of like watercolor painters, a lot of like acrylic painters, which is great, but I find myself not really seeing too many oil painters, especially in like the comic world, in like, you know, like the you know, the illustration world. So I'm just, I guess, trying to let people know that, hey, this is still a cool thing that you can do. And, you know, um, yeah, like if more people can just, you know, get inspired by that and just start picking up the paintbrush and attempting to oil paint, that's still my ultimate goal, which is just to, you know, have people be more interested in this kind of thing. So then there will be more oil painters so that we could just keep this thing going, right?
Yeah, you know, it almost died at some point. Like figurative oil painting.
Yeah,
it's like
kinda. Yeah.
It's kind of
yeah.
retrieving the, like trying to find something back in the ruins of what once was. Like especially here in France, like in the art institutions, like a lot of the, you know, just the technical knowledge has been completely lost. When, you know, after modern art and stuff, like this big cultural revolution, and a lot of the, you know, the old way of teaching, not necessarily the old style, but like they wanted to get rid of the old style and kind of the old rules, but they almost got rid of everything that went with it.
Yeah. So I feel like now with, like, you know, the whole revival, or, you know, the revival of these like techniques, like, you know, from like the efforts of like organizations like the Art Renewal Center, like Portrait Society of America, like the plein air conventions and stuff. I do feel like there is a resurgence, but I think right now the most important thing is getting younger people to be interested in this again, you know, and that's actually why I still want to teach in the future. My dream, like me and my fiance's dream, is still to open a school in the future. But my thing is, I want to open a school where it's like teaching those techniques, teaching classical techniques, but like opening it up. So instead of like always studying like a cast sculpture, right? What if we studied like a sculpture of like, you know, of like Superman or something? You know what I mean? Just to, like for the younger generation, right? So it's still teaching the techniques, but it's drawing their attention in with the subject matter. I think that's the thing that will really help people just be interested in this, which is yeah, I think still the goal for people like us, right? I mean, you make YouTube videos to, you know, educate people and just to let people know more and more about like this whole thing, which I really love, right? So I think it's just building more on stuff like that. Yeah,
absolutely. I would love to have a studio, like an old school studio. We often talk about it with my chat, actually, like having a lot of people want to join, but I'm saying if you come in, you work like in the old days, like the students would get there and be real apprentices and work day in, day out, and actually be paid for that. And I would really love this kind of idea of, you know, how the old way of transmitting, you know, everybody's working on like the work of the master at first, and like slowly the students can get to be their own masters at the end. Kind of Renaissance style. I would love to have this, like, it's because you can take people from all, like, you don't have to be wealthy and pay an exuberant amount of money to learn art. You get to actually be paid to make something productive and then become an artist on your own, right? I find this idea really cool. It's just the business model is so tight.
Yeah.
That, like, if I have that and I'm like the head of this kind of stuff, I have to bring so much money to pay everybody. So they better be really good, and I have to be really good selling this stuff. But like, you know, the big names in contemporary art, they actually do it. Like Damon Hirst and all, like they work like that. They have like I don't know if it's apprentice that they call or assistants, but like people do their paintings for them and they just sign them. They co-create, but you know.
Like people like Jeff Koons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
Well, he makes a lot more money than
Oh yeah.
than most.
For sure.
That's just that. I just need to find a way to fix the business model. But I would love to. This would be my dream, but this is a dream that I think it's never gonna happen. I can make a studio, but I'm gonna have to ask people to pay. I can't. This is not really. I don't think it's going to be sustainable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no, it is a good thing to think about, though. It's definitely like a good kind of goal to kind of strive towards, or get close to. I do think something like that could be possible in the future, but yeah, there has to be a lot of like stars to align for things like that to happen. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not really optimistic about how much money is. Like, there's not a lot of money already, like today, so I don't think in the future there's going to be more.
Yeah. Although I do think like small movements of people learning this will become more and more relevant, especially with the growing interest. So yeah, we'll see what happens, right? But I think right now our job, what we can do, I think, is just to just keep pushing it forward, right? Just keep showing people that this thing you can still do. Yeah. And I mean, you're doing a really good job with that with your YouTube. You get like I see you get like a lot of views, and a lot of people are like knows of your videos and stuff, which is great, right? Like I knew of your videos.
Well, I try to, I had to learn on my own, and I try to make the stuff that I went through like available for others. So basically,
dude, hell yeah, no, that's
my
mindset
mindset has always been, once you get up there, just reach out and help somebody else get up.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's the whole reason why I teach too, because I was also predominantly like self-taught. So, it was so hard for me to learn this. So that's why like now the reason why I teach is if I can make that journey easier for somebody else who also is interested in this. I mean, that's ultimately like, that's the best thing. And I also like even tell them like I had students who come to my class and they're like, oh, how can I want to help you in the future. Like, how do I help? I'm like, dude, you can help me by taking everything that you learned and then passing it down, like passing it forward to the next person, right?
Yeah.
That's
also how we sometimes as a self-taught person, I don't know about you, but like trying to, even if you're still in the process of learning something, but trying to put it into words for somebody else, it also helps you, even if you don't have everything figured out yet. Just trying to, rephrase it and say, okay, this is what I learned so far, and try to teach it to somebody else. Even like if you don't have full mastery, it might still be useful. Yeah. It's kind of summarizes everything in your head and kind of
absolutely.
For me, it works like that.
No, absolutely. Because we're all on a journey.
I'm not 100%, I don't master 100%, but I don't master everything at 100%. So I couldn't teach anything if I was waiting for just something that I have absolute control over. Still pretty much trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah, I think the key to teaching is actually empathy for students and their struggles. That's why I feel like some people who are especially really talented, who was able to just have it click just like that, they may not make the best teachers because they didn't struggle with anything. It just kind of came naturally to them. So they don't have any solutions to like overcome difficulties, right?
Yeah.
That's what I realized. Like some of my friends who were really gifted with this when they tried teaching, they didn't actually know how to teach. Like when people asked them like, "Oh, why did you do that?" They're like, "I just felt like it should be." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not really helpful for students because they're like, that doesn't what does that mean? Like what? Right? So for me, I struggled a lot. I definitely was not talented. I struggled so much. It was so hard for me that's why I have a bunch of cheat codes and little things that I do to help me along the way. And every time I teach, if I ever I have a solution to basically any student's issue because I've gone through the same exact issue that they've gone through, so I kind of have a remedy for that. So I think empathy, having a bit of a learning empathy goes a long way as a teacher.
Totally. Yeah, that's what makes a good teacher. What's your take on talent? What do you think talent means?
So there are talented people, I admit. I don't talent is definitely a much more rare. It's much more rare, but there are people. Like I can name a few people who on top of my head who are just I believe they are talented. Like they've gotten so far so fast in such a quick time with barely little to any training. But here's the thing. I feel like talent is just something that you can utilize, or like if you have talent, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. I think if you have talent, you still want to cultivate it, right?
Exactly,
you don't want to just rely.
Totally.
Yeah, you want to just keep working. It's like a little I like to, have you ever played Mario Kart before? Mario Kart where
I used to play
rev up your engine. Yeah. Like sometimes if you do the right thing at the beginning before the light turns green, you can rev up your engine to get a boost. You know what I mean? So I feel like talent is kind of like that. It's like it gives you that boost at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you still have to finish the race. You still have to continue. And people who are in last place, they can catch up to you if you slack. So
yeah, how many times have you heard about wasted potential, wasted talent?
Oh man,
this kid has talent, is just too lazy to. Talent is kind of a little boost that you get in the beginning, and then you have to use it properly. Otherwise, it's not going to take
exactly. I think.
Yeah, totally.
I think who said it best? Luke Skywalker said it best in that Mandalorian episode where he says, "Talent without training is nothing, or it's not going to work." He said something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. But let's see. What? Oh, that was weird. I just had a pop up randomly on my screen. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that whole talent conversation?
Yeah, the talent thing. I think. There is such a thing as people who will never get into it, right? Because they are just totally disconnected from the type of, skills or mindset that it requires. So for some people sometimes say, "Oh, I'm a lost case," and sometimes it's true. Like you really feel like they're not made for drawing because they don't have the patience. They don't have, like a certain set of skills, like the ability to stay alone in a room for several hours at a time. Some people really physically can't. Other than that, anybody can be an artist with enough training. And talent, definitely, it just makes learning more easy. Learning difficult stuff becomes more easy if you have talent. And it's
I think
if you don't have talent, it's way more difficult, but it's still if you follow
I think
good methods, well, it's doable.
Yeah, I think it's not really the talent of drawing. I think it's the talent of obsession. If you have the talent of just being able to obsess over something,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean, or like the talent of patience, or being able to kind of receive information, and
No, totally.
take that
Obsession
information.
is a thing. Like you need
Yeah,
some type of obsession. Like
exactly. I feel like
to
anyone who's talented at anything. I mean, no one comes out of the womb being able to, just make a masterpiece, right? Like, no, like, everyone was influenced by something. And, like when you're a kid and you're drawing, or no, when you're a kid, like, let's say there's two children, right? Like two kids, one was really interested in drawing, like because of like maybe a cartoon he watched or something, and he kept doing it. When he keeps doodling, every time he's in class, he keeps doodling. The other kid, not so much, right? But that other kid likes sports, for instance, right? So when they grow up maybe a little bit more, like 5-6 years later, people will be like, wow, this kid's talented in sports, this kid's talented in drawing. No, they were just interested in that, and they just kept doing it. So they're a little better than a lot of the other people, a lot of other kids who are not interested in that, right? But that still takes, you still need to cultivate that, right?
yeah.
Not enough just to like leave it there.
But
But
it also
yeah,
takes the ability to make sacrifices at some point, because you've
it
got
does,
to
yeah.
make choices, like difficult choices. Is it worth sacrificing a lot of fun time here and there for just making a picture? For some, it's like inconceivable, and they'll never get really into it. And fine, I mean, to
Yeah.
each his own. But
For
yeah.
sure. But yeah, But oh. So what are you working on right now, man? That's a really cool painting.
I hope to finally finish this one talking about obsession and talking about
Oh yeah.
love-hate relation with your painting. I think I started this painting last year, and I left it on the side for like 8 to 9 months, and I picked it up again and decided to finish it. Man. And
Nice,
yeah, I
dude.
think
That's
I'm
looking
getting
really
there.
good.
So it's just like the final details. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, but that's looking really good.
Yeah, it's my fault for always making big projects like that.
I mean, that's good though. How big is that, by the way?
It's I think it's one. Do you talk centimeters?
I can Google Translate. I mean, I can like Google it.
I think it's 140, 1.40 to 1 meter or something. I don't know.
Oh wow.
I should have written. I never remember this kind of stuff. Sometimes I write it on the side or in the back.
Well, you can always measure it again, right?
Yeah, but I'm so tired of measuring the same stuff. I should know. No, I didn't write it down. Normally, sometimes when I'm thinking forward, I write it down in the back.
Yeah. For sure.
Rui de Silva in chat says that's my problem. I don't have patience, and I'm easily distracted from focus. How do you deal with distraction, Kai?
How do I deal with dude, I'm so easily distracted. That's the reason why. Okay, so how I deal with distractions by going on Discord and streaming while I'm painting and talking to people, so that like they can see that I'm painting. So then like, right? Because the moment where I stop, like for me, I can't paint alone. I don't like painting by myself. Like I don't like just being alone and just like quiet, like nothing's happening. Like I can't do that. I don't know. For some reason, I'm like more of a social painter. Maybe it's because I teach a lot, and whenever I'm teaching, I have to talk when I'm demonstrating. So I guess I'm just used to that. But yeah, I definitely enjoy talking while I'm painting. It helps keep me focused. Because the moment I'm not doing that, you will find me just completely getting distracted. I'll go on YouTube, and then for some reason I'll start watching like random YouTube videos like top 10 anime fights or whatever, right? You know what I mean? I just get caught up in the rabbit hole of that, and I just stop doing work, and then you'll probably catch me like sneaking upstairs to play Sekiro or something. Yeah,
so that's your big thing, right?
Good.
At the moment, big Sekiro player here, Kai. So if anybody's in chat has if anybody in chat has tips on how to beat Sekiro,
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Honestly, though, I enjoy that game right now just because, again, it tests my reflexes and it actually helps me stay sharp in my mind. And I think that actually helps me with my painting as well. Like, it helps, just kind of keep me sharp. And honestly, that's the reason why I always feel like it's important for artists to have like another discipline. I mean, that's not really a discipline. My other discipline is, or my other hobby is dancing, actually. I'm like a street dancer. So...
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Every time, yeah, I do a style of street dance called popping. So, and I study with a lot of the OGs here in Los Angeles. But yeah, I mean, like for me, every time, like let's say I'm getting tired in the studio, right? Like I'm getting tired or getting kind of burned out from painting in the studio, sitting all day. I would just go to like a session, because it's still creative, but it's just physically creative. And I felt like I was able to kind of,
especially
get a lot
like
of that
dancing, really, it's with choreography, you can take so much inspiration for positions, figure, pretty dramatic movements and all.
For sure.
I mean, if you can get like your dance buddies to just make some weird pose for you, like that's a banger painting sometimes. Like,
no,
really
absolutely.
Yeah. My wife dances and she's always really good like at giving me position ideas. I like to twist my figures around.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. Like the type of dance that I do is more freestyle based, right? It's like people go battles and all that stuff. But one of the styles that I recently am really getting into is waving, and I'm actually learning that from a dancer called Jay Smooth. He is actually a student of Pop and Taco who taught Michael Jackson, right? But basically, the whole concept of waving is fluidity, flow, and balance, right? So you're trying to find, when you're freestyling, you're trying to find that rhythm and trying to find I guess, like a sense of rhythm, right? And then when you're looking for a sense of rhythm, you're actually looking for pathways on how to make this thing make sense. And whenever I'm coming back to the studio, I'm noticing I'm thinking a lot about that, especially when I'm facing a lot of like my alla prima figures or a lot of my alla prima paintings, where when I'm painting alla prima, I'm not thinking of just the subject matter, I'm thinking of the atmosphere. You know what I mean? And how do I make that atmosphere work and have it and make it so that the painting has flow and has balance. You know what I mean? So I tend to feel sometimes I'm like dancing with the paintbrush a little and having the paintbrush kind of like be a visual kind of like a take on the things I'm thinking about when I'm dancing, when I'm like utilizing like the wave technique and stuff. So yeah, I definitely think like, it really helps, if you have like some other discipline that you can kind of like, kind of bounce the synapses back and forth from. It can help you kind of raise some new ideas, But yeah.
That's very cool. So how do you get your ideas and your inspiration outside of pop culture? Like, let's say you want to paint a Superman, but how do you know what kind of light? How do you know what kind of pose? How do you choose this stuff?
So yeah, I mean, this one was more so like the client was like, they wanted a full figure, so I knew it was going to be a full figure, and they said they wanted to look dynamic. The good thing about these commissions is like they usually just are very hands off with it. They just give me a kind of an idea what they have, and they were like, you can even disagree with that idea. If you think it's not going to make a good painting, you could tell me your idea, and then usually, we go through that. But they're just so offhanded that they're, usually whatever they throw at me, I'm like, yeah, I can make that work, right? So for this one, they just wanted Superman full figure, face reminiscent of like a bit of like, Christopher Reeves. I'm like, okay, cool. And they said they wanted it to be like a dynamic kind of like a, like a dramatic, I I guess, composition where it's like vertical. So, you know, I'm thinking, well, you know, put him in a cityscape because that's where he's usually hanging out at, right? And then I realized, oh, he has a lot of blue and a lot of like, you know, cool reds. So how can I like counteract that? Counteract that with warm yellows and warm oranges, you know? It's also just the excuse for me to paint more orange because I love painting orange, orange glow, right? So yeah, that's just kind of how this idea kind of came to play, right? And how I composed the image was just Frankensteining a bunch of different things. Frankensteining like you know, action figures, Frankensteining different like, you know, sceneries, and yeah, it's just I honestly feel like sometimes making the reference is usually like a lot more harder than actually painting. You know, once you get to like painting, it's like a little easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you actually use action figures like little models and take photos and stuff like that? Like doing
I
maquettes
want
and
to
stuff?
in the future. The good ones are just so expensive that I don't have any right now. I know that's what people like Alex Ross does. Right now, no. Right now, it's just literally like just going online, looking at action figures, and then just going in, taking, and then photoshopping it, and just like warping it until it like looks right, you know. Yeah, but I do want to start getting into collecting figures. There's a painting that I really want to do. I might actually pick your brain about because I want to make it a little larger. I want to make it maybe like the size of what you're doing right now, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
So I might pick your brain about like how to like go about painting something that big, but it's gonna be a like a take on the Monkey King because of the new Monkey King game that's coming out, but also because I really love Monkey King. It was like my childhood hero. Like people grew up with anime, I grew up with that show. So I always wanted to like make something like that. But I feel like now I feel like I might be ready. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. So I'm probably gonna get started with that when I move next year, when I have a bigger studio, so I can paint bigger. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Where do you paint at the moment?
I'm sorry?
Where do you paint at the moment?
Oh, I'm in Los Angeles right now. So right now, to give you an idea, I'm like it's a 2-bedroom that me and my fiance just, you know, have in. We turned the smaller room into like a studio where she works and where I work. So if you were to look on my right side, you'll see like her chair and her whole computer setup right there. So we work like side by side next to each other. Yeah, but we are trying to move soon because again, now that she's not really, you know, doing concept art, she's just traveling for shows, and I'm just painting at home. We have no reason to live in Los Angeles anymore because we initially came here for her work, right? So we're like, hey, you know, why are we paying all this money to stay in Los Angeles where we don't even take advantage of the fact that we're in Los Angeles? We don't even go out. We're like, why don't we just, you know, move somewhere bigger and cheaper? So yeah,
absolutely.
We're thinking of moving soon because the price that we're paying for right now for a 2-bedroom can get us like a 3 to 4 bedroom, you know, like 2-story house with like
absolutely.
Garage.
It's exactly the same with Paris here in France. It's like
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I could be I could have been trying to find a studio in Paris, but it's like I would have like 10 times less space for 10 times more rent.
Yeah.
So I'm not in Paris. I'm kind of in the countryside. I'm enjoying especially with the internet and stuff. Like I can drive or take a train to Paris when I need. So find my gallery and stuff like that. Meet people. Yeah. And I do that.
No, that's good. Yeah.
But I don't have to be there. Like it's not like the old times where you have to be at a certain spot all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, that's our mindset too.
So everybody in chat, if you have questions for Kai or anything, I'm gonna try to scroll back because I think I was talking so much and discussing with you. I missed tons of
Oh, you know
chat
what?
messages.
Let me open up chat too, so I can kind of see.
Roaring Spark says, I love seeing the difference in style and thought process of different artists. So cool how everyone is unique and different. Yeah, exactly. Give the same subject to 10 different artists and you'll have 10 different paintings.
Oh yeah, that's the fun part
unique.
of it, right?
Yes, that's what's cool. Tell Kai he should move to Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh my god, who said that? Is it Cody?
Yeah,
Did Cody say that? Oh my god, no. Nope.
What's the story?
No. Oh no, I don't want to tell the story. Oh my,
okay.
The story was the worst weekend of my life. Basically everything that I was there for a show. I was there helping my fiance sell at a small show, and it was just the worst experience of my entire life because everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Like the plane like got delayed and they lost my luggage, and then I had to like go back and forth between two airports, and I spent like $400 to $500 just going back and forth to airports because it's 1 hour each way, and it was impossible to like even get to the airports because Uber and Lyft and like those rideshare apps did not work at that area because it was just such a small town. So it was so hard just trying to even hail a car. And then the show was abysmal. The show was not that good. And after the show, I couldn't get anything. I couldn't get taxi. I couldn't get anything. So I had to like actually haul and drag the inventory for 2 miles from the convention center back to my Airbnb. And then the wheels broke off in the middle of it. So then it was raining too. And then I slipped and I fell. And when I fell, these hooligans drove by, rolled down their window, pointed and laughed at me, and then drove away again. And I'm just like, wow. This is like, what is this? Like, this is crazy. Yeah. So that was not good. Yeah, that was the worst weekend. Oh man. But no, I'm never moving there. Oh my god. I think I will actually have a panic attack if you make me go there again. If I step foot in that airport again, I think I'm going to actually have a panic attack. I don't think I can handle it.
So were you originally from California?
Originally, yeah. I mean, originally I was like born in China. And my parents, they brought me to California when I was 2 years old. So I grew up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now you consider moving to a different state or just a different part of California that's less expensive?
We're actually thinking of moving near Las Vegas, like in Nevada, right? Because I have a lot of like one of my friends, he's also like semi like like rep. He has a lot of connections in Vegas, and we were looking at like some of the nearby cities in Vegas, not in the Strip, of course, but like outside. And it seemed really nice. We were driving around it. The only thing is it does get hot, but it gets hot here too, and we don't notice because we don't go outside. We're just trying to look for like a nice space, just to kind of
I assume it gets hot though, because it's basically a city in the middle of a desert. So California is not as like, I think the most part where people live in California is pretty nice weather. It's hot, but not extremely dry and
yeah. But yeah, actually, I'm on the chat right now. Let's see. Don't come to Utah. Actually, Utah was actually one of our choices before we realized it was a little too far away from California. Like, we're choosing Vegas because it's still close to California that we can drive. And ultimately it's due to the fact that there's no state income tax, so we don't have to pay that. And also we figured that Vegas, I mean, Nevada in general, but Vegas especially, like, what are they known for? They're known for tourists coming in and out, right? So the state puts a lot of money in, their airports and making the transportation really efficient. Definitely better than the Los Angeles airport, right? And right now we basically have to travel out to shows every other weekend. and right now we're relying on the Los Angeles airport, and it's like a nightmare. So yeah, that is that is basically kind of like one of the big reasons why we want to move there, just for transportation sake and just for convenience sake of being near like a actually good airport.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, we've got a question in chat. Can Kai expand on his relationship with his rep? I know he's got commission and stuff through them. I'm just wondering how it came, how it works, how it came about.
Yeah, for sure. I have a lot of different representatives. I have a lot of different ones. The one that I'm talking about who has connections to Vegas. So I met him. I met him at a convention. Actually, he was an attendee at a convention, at a convention called Stockton Con, and yeah, his name is Brooks. Really great guy, and basically he came up to my table and was like, "Hey, I really like your work. I have this gallery store, in Sacramento or near Sacramento and like Roseville. Like, would you be down to like come? We'll showcase some of your work. How would you like to do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So, so I did it. And I wasn't expecting much. I thought he was just gonna place me in like a motel or something, right? Dude placed me in like the nicest hotel suite I've ever stayed at. And then like he was just treating me out every day to like steak and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is so nice.
Whoa.
And right now the relationship I have with him is he sells a lot of like Funko Pops. Like, those Funko Pops, right? He also sells a lot of sports collectibles. So what I do for him is I actually oil paint on like the Funko Pop boxes, right? And I also like he will actually give me like a signed football helmets that he has like an athlete sign. He's like, "Hey, can you paint them on the football helmets?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then I do that for him, and then in return, he basically he helps me out a lot, and also he sells my prints at his he also sells some of my prints at his gallery, and it's great. He does like canvas prints for me and all that stuff.
So how would someone like beginning or early in their career find someone like that? How do you find a person?
Honestly,
like that?
yeah. Honestly, though, I feel like, and this is just after me just talking to a lot of people who were beginning in their careers at like Lightbox. I would say you probably won't find someone like that in the beginning of your career. I think like I was able to find him. I didn't find him; he found me. Just because like I guess my art attracted him. So I would say to anyone who's starting out, don't worry about any of that for right now. Just make your work. So like make your work known or make your work stand out, right? Because like if your work stands out, and people would take interest, and then opportunities like that would just kind of come. So because I don't really have any advice on how to get opportunities like that, because again, I didn't really seek any of it out. It just kind of happened. So, and that's kind of like how it happened for all my opportunities that I was able to get. So, and that's the thing I tell my students too.
That's not very
like
helpful though, because that's more like be so good that be just as good as me, and it will happen without you doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, like,
how would like
I mean, that
if someone is out there grinding for visibility, what would be your what would you recommend? Make yourself known.
Honestly,
how would you do that?
I think just putting yourself. I mean, first of all, like it depends on like what work you're doing, right? Depends on what work you're doing. It depends on like like if you're doing like more stuff like comics or pop culture stuff like what I'm doing, then I recommend Comic Cons. That's usually a good thing, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing more fine art based, then competitions, right? Like enter into the gallery shows, especially entering the competitions. That will definitely make your work known a lot more, because it'll get eyes on your works, right? And just putting yourself out there. Social media, I feel like, is definitely a really helpful tool. Just by getting your work out there too. you know, because like I've known people who were really good, but they don't show their work anywhere. So then it's like, and they never get anywhere because, you know, how will anyone know what you're capable of if you're just hiding it? You know what I mean? So I guess just, you know, making yourself known, like uploading, whether it be uploading your work or just anything like that, right?
So is there a future for Instagram? What do you think about Instagram right now?
Dude, I don't even know. I think like especially now, isn't everyone trying to jump ship right now from Instagram? I barely use Instagram.
Have you heard
now.
about
like,
their
I don't know if
new
you noticed,
update?
I don't know.
Like they
what is
they
new
might
update?
scroll and dive into your pictures to make AI.
What?
And
oh my god.
You to opt out, you have to do something like it's not easy to opt out, and apparently you can only opt out for upcoming pictures. But basically, I think this was already in the terms of and conditions from the very beginning. It's like they can use whatever they like from your pictures.
Yeah.
Study it and just
yeah. That's
I
not
don't know.
good.
I don't know how far they are in their AI, but they plan to use all this data, juicy data. And apparently a lot of artists are pissed and they moved to, what's this site? Have you heard about it? Kara or something like that?
Kara, right?
Kara.
Yeah, Kara. Yeah,
I just heard about
tried,
it. I didn't have a look.
Yeah, I tried Kara. I'm hoping they get better. They get a little better at you know, implementing kind of like checking in Kara, because I tried using Kara and some of my work that I tried uploading, it was like, oh, this is AI, you're not allowed to upload it. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is not what like yeah. So
yeah, but aren't they saying that it's AI because somebody has used your pictures for AI and now you're screwed?
Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, in Kara, some of my paintings I can't upload because it thinks it's AI, even though it's clearly not. Like I think it's because like my paintings, they, I guess, I don't know, they glow or whatever, and a lot of AI images glow too. I guess they just confuse it. I don't know, but yeah. So that's the only reason why I'm not using Kara full time right now, just because, you know, I'm waiting for them to, I guess, better develop the UI first before I really jump into it, because the UI right now is a little confusing to use. But other than that, I think it is. I mean, I don't know how successful it will be.
Just because, think it will flop. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like, I mean, every month they come up with, you know, this big new Instagram that's much more ethical, that's much better. Oh, finally, Instagram, the alternative that doesn't force you to make reels. Everybody's going to be going to this new thing. It never works, man. They never have enough money to pump to just compete, and like no, it's not easy to become the new TikTok or the new whatever. And if anything grows pretty big, they're gonna just buy it out, and that's all. So, or copy it and just ruin it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing too, right? So I'm not really sure, you know. Yeah, because again, didn't they have like Blue Sky or something, and then that didn't really go to anything, and then didn't, you know? I mean, even the thing that Instagram or Facebook, even the thing that Instagram was trying to make, that was like another thing, Thread, right? Didn't they make Thread? Even that, and that's made by them.
Yeah.
People weren't really doing it. I mean, like we all went on it. Like I made one and I enjoyed using it for like the first couple of days, but then I guess it lost its, I don't know, lost something, like lost its appeal or lost.
I never even tried.
Thread? Yeah,
is this supposed to be like Twitter, but not Twitter?
I guess. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't use Twitter, so I'm not sure. Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say how important is Instagram for artists?
Right now, because of the changing landscape, I really don't know anymore. Like I really don't know because Instagram is just so different now compared to before, right? So if you were to ask me this question a couple years ago, I would have said very important because that was how I got all my clients, you know. But now I really don't know because I mean I don't even use it. If you look at my Instagram, I barely post. I post maybe once every couple of months or something, right? I don't post that much anymore.
Yeah, I'm also allergic.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I feel like you're more active on all these like platforms than I am
Instagram?
because I know
No,
you have.
Instagram is my dead zone. I post whenever I have a painting finished. And even there, sometimes I don't like to, I make one painting every couple months, so
Yeah.
it's not very often. Like I
Yeah.
do a lot of work regularly on YouTube. I do interact a lot with my community. I have my Discord and all. It's like I don't feel that I know the people out there on Instagram. I think it's all like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Instagram. Never been. Every time I go there, I feel so, I don't know, pressured and anxious. It's not a cool place to hang out for me, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think the only thing I would say Instagram is good for is there is still a lot of good artists on there and they upload their work in progresses. That's how I learned painting actually. It was actually on Instagram I learned how to paint.
Yeah, but that's what frustrates me and makes me anxious. So
really?
when I'm scrolling there and I see the work of others, I immediately want to stop scrolling and go back painting. Or sometimes because I'm inspired, but it's like I never get there and hang out on the platform for long enough so that I can just, get used to it and see the feel of the platform. Like I'm always on YouTube, I'm always on Discord, so I know how it feels. But Instagram is like, I don't know, it's a strange space for me.
I see. Yeah, no,
I
that's
never
fair.
get to
That makes
chill
sense.
on the platform, so I never get to understand how it works.
Gotcha. I think yeah, I think for me it's like I have an art Instagram, but I also have a dance Instagram. So I just kind of switch between the two, and then it allows me to kind of get a better feel for, I guess, the app. But yeah, I know when I was a student, I used Instagram a lot to fuel my studies because, let's say if I liked a painter, I would go on their Instagram and usually they will have like posts where it's like work in progress or they'll have a video of them making a painting. And then I'm like, yes, I was like, okay, cool. I can learn from this now, right? Then I can like try to dissect what they're trying to do or what they're doing. Because if you go on their website, it's all finished painting. You can't really dissect anything. I mean, you could, but it's like a lot more difficult, right? It's just something about, especially like during like maybe a couple of years ago, where people will just post videos of them just making brush strokes. Sometimes they'll make a brush stroke like while they're painting. That to me was just really helpful too, because especially like for me, I was trying to learn alla prima. Every brushstroke counts. So how I was able to see them like stack the brushstrokes there in what kind of range and what kind of like fluidity, how thick, how thin, those definitely really helped me in my journey. Yeah, but I don't know how many people still upload stuff like that. So I don't know. I think right now it's mostly like Subway Surfer memes now, right? So I don't even know anymore. Yeah.
All right. We have mixed feeling on Instagram in chat. Some people say Instagram wants to be a daily performing clown. Some people say I like Instagram. I wish they didn't change their policies so often. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's still a place to be. Like I'm there. It's just I barely post, but I still have an Instagram. Like you can still reach out. Like I do receive DMs and stuff.
Yeah,
but
for
I'm
sure.
not the most active, and I never dove whatever. I never really got into the whole shorts, like TikTok kind of format, like reels and stuff. Even though I could, like, because technically this is my job, I make videos, I know how to make them, but you know, I prefer to keep it more, you know, long format. I find it more satisfying. I tried the shorts format, but it's really not my thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of diving a bit more back into the shorts just to see if this last hurrah will work. Because I realized, I'm like, hey, wait a second. I love painting these pop culture characters. I go to conventions all the time. Why don't I collaborate with more cosplayers, you know? So after this Superman painting and after another painting, I'm planning on actually doing a painting of this cosplayer that I met at Calgary in Canada. And what I did with him, he was wearing like a really, really dope Scarecrow cosplay. Like it was from Batman, the Scarecrow cosplay. And initially what I did first was I just took some reference pictures of him, right? Because, like, you know, that's normal. You go up to people at conventions, you're like, hey, can I take a picture? And they're like, yeah, and they post for you, and you know, I tell them I'm a painter, I'm going to use this as reference, and they'd be like, oh, just tell me how to post it, you know. So it was cool. I got some really nice poses. I have one in mind that I'm going to paint, and then I showed it to my fiance. She was tabling. She's like, wait, why don't you take a book out of out of your friend, one of my friends, Devon Rodriguez. He does like the whole subway drawing, right? Like filming people on the subway. He's like, why don't you do that, but like for cosplay? So I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So I went back and I looked for the guy again, and I found him. I'm like, hey, listen, I might make this into like a reel or a short. Do you mind if I just approach you, you know, and ask if I can paint you, right? You know, you could respond however you like, and then, you know, so I'm planning on doing that and then transitioning it to me actually painting. That way,
there's potential.
And then, there is. I mean, there's not going to be any reaction because I can't find him again because I have to go back to the studio to paint it. But I feel like this way I can maybe start doing stuff like this because there's a lot of cool cosplays I see every show where I'm like, wow, I want to paint you, and I'm like, how come I have never thought of this before, like until now, you know? So that's something that I'm probably gonna try exploring.
You need to listen to your girlfriend more closely, more carefully. She has good
ideas.
ideas.
I really should. So, you know, so expect to see that video out sometimes, like either next month or something.
That's a cool concept. This would be typically a great concept idea for like shorts or reels or TikTok or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the same.
I think
most people post like multi-post. So
yeah, I mean, I think it'll be cool because I want to collaborate with like the cosplay community too, you know. So I think this will be a good way for, you know, me to kind of like, you know, show respect to like the hard work they put into their cosplays, and then we can kind of like cross, I guess, promote each other, and then I think it'll also introduce more people to the idea of oil painting in that community, right? So yeah, I think it just kind of, you know, covers a lot of grounds. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that, but we'll see how it comes out. Hopefully the painting doesn't come out like crap, so that's the only thing, you know, but it should be okay, hopefully.
I'm pretty sure it will be okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Have you ever like felt like you still don't know how to paint? I still have days like that where I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this.
No, but sometimes I have these moments of panicked of like, have I peaked in the past before? And am I not like going down from there? Because sometimes I'm happy with what I did back in the days and so frustrated with what I'm currently doing. And I sometimes get panic attacks of how am I going to, you know, get better.
I feel you. Yeah.
And it's usually
I
just because I'm
yeah.
losing, I'm losing touch or I'm losing inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and it usually goes away. It's just the feeling of the moment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, let's see. How's your painting going, by the way, man?
It's going well. I'm at a point where I can't see a lot of details to fix.
Nice, dude.
So
No, that's
it's
awesome. I
normally
love
a
that
good
hair.
sign.
Damn, look at that.
Normally a good sign. I took notes. I have a list of, stuff to finish, sometimes just a couple things that are not really super game changing, but you just care
Mm-hmm.
about them because nobody would notice, but you still care. Typical
Yeah, for sure.
artist mindset.
For sure. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, I have a lot of that time happening too, where it's like, oh, I feel like there's some, like, there are times where I would like make a painting and then I would show it to like the client or whatever, and they would be like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, they're like, oh, when can I pick it up? And I'm like, when can you pick it up? I'm just showing you a work in progress. It's not done yet. And they're like, oh, okay. Like I was like, dang, I wish I didn't say that. I was like, I want to work on something else now. If you like it, then all right. Like you can come pick it up if you want. But usually I still try to work on it until like I'm happy with it at least, because there's nothing worse than releasing a painting that you're not happy with into the wild, you know, and letting that be a representation of you. So yeah. See. Oh, is there anybody still talking in chat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there is. Oh, okay, cool.
I've got to warn you about emoji wall. This is a thing we have, but I said we'll do it in the end. So emoji
what
wall
is
is
that?
basically people will start spamming emojis in chat, and madness will ensue. But you as a guest, you'll not really get it from your side. Like it's just madness happening in the chat, but it's just something between us.
That's fun. That's fun.
It's like our little ritual.
Oh,
and
that's fun.
the mods get to launch it.
Oh, okay.
So
you have mods
sometimes
right
they
now?
abuse their powers, I have to say.
Ah, I see. What time is it for you right now?
It's 10 p.m., 10:14 p.m.
Oh, wow. Dang, it's late.
Thank you, Roaring Spark. And so basically, I can't believe I'm saying this. During the emoji wall, Cody wants to know if you can dance for it. Do some wave or break.
Yeah, sure, I could do something. Yeah, I'll do a little something. I can't really do much.
You don't have
I'll
to.
do
You
some.
don't have to. It's just.
That's fine. I'll do some
think it's
finger
a
cutting
joke.
or something for the people. Like it's fine.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
This is also my chat. This is our bot. Our bot is Steven.
Oh, okay.
Meet Steven. Oh yeah, by the way,
Hey.
I said I was going to reprogram Steven. So you told me you were streaming on Twitch at some point? Like at least
My
I
name is
saw it.
Steven and I am a text-to-speech voice.
See.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. This is our bot.
Oh, sorry. What were you?
So I saw that you had a Twitch channel. Do
I did,
do
yeah.
you sometimes stream there?
I want to. I'm just so lazy now that I don't. I felt like it was so tiring, because I felt like when I was on Twitch, because nobody else is talking, I felt like I had to. It was weird. I had to talk myself. I know there's a way to connect to Discord, but then some people don't want to be on my Twitch on Discord. So it was just weird. I don't know. Yeah, I do want to do more of it, just because there's a thing called TwitchCon that we want to attempt to get into. So, and I know my fiance, she also wants to, start streaming more, maybe when she has more time. But yeah.
Well, if you're up for it, I'm always looking for streaming buddies. So, and maybe one day I don't know, maybe one day I'll move to Twitch if I need. It's just like at the moment, if I stream on Twitch, nobody's going to show up.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah,
people like generally don't move platforms too much, and I know because I'm the same.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But Twitch is far superior, like their user interface and all is like far superior for streaming.
Yeah. Well, just let me know if you ever move. Maybe I'll move with you.
Or we can just live, like collab. The thing I know, and I was really tempted, is Twitch has this stream together option. So basically they would just directly put both of your streams together.
Oh, that's cool.
I found this was a great thing. I never tried. Because right here, if I want to have you with me, I have to do a lot of tech on the side. I would really love to have an option that just, oh, Kai is live. Bam, let's just talk and just go live together and just almost like a Discord basically, but live. I really love to have this, but hey.
Yeah, that's really cool. I wouldn't mind doing that. That sounds really cool. Yeah. So other than this painting, do you have anything else in the projects or anything else in the works right now?
Yeah, normally I would, but on purpose I didn't take a new project for the moment. So I'm mostly working on computer stuff and courses and stuff because of the baby coming up.
Oh, nice. Congratulations again, by the way, man. June, that's really exciting.
Yeah. Should be like my wife's saying that it's getting closer. She has like the feeling.
Oh.
So,
dang.
I was kind of expecting to be called at some point during the stream, but baby's behaving and is leaving his daddy work for the time. That's good. But it can, it can be any moment now. That's pretty exciting. Yeah. So I didn't start a new project. So I'm finishing stuff and doing, computer work so that when the baby just gets home, I get to, close off my computer and go help and do my dad stuff. It's more it's easier for me, like being interrupted in a painting when, especially like I would have to start a new project and I generally need some focus time, pretty heavy, It's very frustrating to be interrupted a lot, so I don't take on new projects. But I do make a lot of plans. Like I have all my ideas ready, and as soon as I see that the sky is clear and I get to sleep more than 3 hours every night, I'm back in business.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good though. I mean, still very exciting that you're gonna have a baby.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be your first?
No, second.
Oh, second. Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I know what to expect. This is why I'm not planning anything. The first one didn't let me sleep for a good 8 months, so I'm not planning anything right now.
Gotcha.
So how about you? What are your big projects at the moment?
Right now it's just I'm just working on this on and off, right? I mean, the client already likes it, so right now it's just more about like how far I want to push it, which is always good, It's like no pressure anymore from that end.
Yep.
And after this, I'm I have one painting I gotta do for. It's gonna be the cover of like the book project that I'm doing. It's gonna be the dust jacket cover. So I did one painting for them, and well, I already did the dust jacket cover for them. And after I finished it, they're like, "Oh, actually, we want to go a different direction." I'm like, "Oh, okay." They're like, "Yeah, can we pay you to do like just one more?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I'm just doing another one for them. I like this one a lot better. It's gonna be more landscape oriented or landscape focused. So I'm excited about that one. I wasn't excited initially to redo it, but now I'm excited because it's a whole new concept.
I see.
And yeah, and then after that is the scarecrow painting that I was talking about. And I'm actually doing that in collaborations with Trakel. I was about to just do that by myself, but they asked me if, because they're doing like their Halloween panels, and they asked if I wanted to, do some product, promotion for that. So they're sending me like a pumpkin shaped panel. So I'm gonna like paint the scarecrow on that pumpkin shaped panel. I think it'll be fun. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because working with Trakel, I just, every 3 months, I just have to like post something relevant to them so that I stay within the incentive and they keep shipping me stuff that I like or shipping me materials. So it's like, so that basically fulfills the next 3 months requirement after they send me the pumpkin panel. And it's cool too, because like they promote me on their website, and it's like a nice little cross promoting. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But other than that, it's just preparing for shows. More so for my fiance. Like we have a lot of big shows happening in July and August, so I have to try to get everything or get as much done within this month. So that way, I might take a break from painting a little in July and August to help her with all her shows. Because August, I think we have like 8 shows. It's kind of crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So 8 shows, you mean like conventions and stuff?
Yeah, 8 conventions.
Isn't
like we have like 4.
Yeah, you really have to like conventions. Isn't like kind of exhausting though at the end of the day?
It is. I mean, kind of. I mean, it is. Like
I've never been to one, so I don't know. Like, but just looking at the pictures and the videos, it feels so crowded.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it
stuff.
is
I don't know
crowded.
which one you
it's like
go to, but hey, looks like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I've seen images. And
Oh yeah, no, it's super crowded. I mean, for us, it's good. Crowded is good because like we're behind the table and we can go through the back door and stuff. So for us, like the more crowd, the better, because that means more customers.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So for us, it's okay. It's like now it's like kind of no, like her work is really good, so it kind of sells itself. So you're just chilling there. You're sitting there. You're drinking boba, sitting there, and then people we line up and be like, "Can I have this, 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 this?" You just give them, they give you money, and then and it's like that on repeat, for the whole day, And it would be tiring, but the profits are just so good that you're not tired. You're like, "Oh yeah, keep it coming." You know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah. So.
I've never been to
And
something
it
like
just and like because of all the shows now that we're doing, we're at an actual stage financially where we're like, oh, we can start thinking about like buying a house, where we can think about maybe early retirement, just because of how lucrative the shows are. A lot of our friends who's been doing the shows for like one of my friends, they've been doing it for like the past 10 years. And they're like in their 30s and they're about to retire because of all the money they just kind of saved up from doing shows, Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, so it allowed us financial freedom finally. And it isn't too tiring because we don't work during the weekdays. We're just hanging out during the weekdays. So we only, it's only during the weekends, like those 3 days. And it's still fun too, because like the customers are all really nice. A lot of them are fans, so they they come and have a really good interaction. And then we get to meet other cool artists as well. We get to hang out afterwards. So yeah, it's working, but it also doesn't feel like working. The only work, I guess, is traveling, right? The travel, that's the only thing that feels like work. Like
You've got
going
to
to airport.
ship your stuff, pack your stuff. How do you take all your?
We're right now working with right now we have business partners where we're working with. They've been doing shows for a long time and they want to help us. So they help us keep track of inventory. They ship the stuff for us. They keep track of everything. So we just have to show up now, which is great.
That's nice.
We just pay them like a flat fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they help us just yeah.
Well, that's comfy.
So
that's
great.
the most the most annoying part, and especially like for small artists, like for you business is good, but like for small artists sometimes you end up taking all your stuff, moving a lot of canvases for nothing, because if you don't make a lot of sales, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I think for her, because it's all paper prints, so the overhead is really low, and then the products move really fast, so it's been pretty good for us so far, because we just sell prints, it's like 11 by 17 prints, and yeah, we just need to take like 1 or 2 boxes. That's pretty much it, and that's like the inventory. But yeah. Oh man. So what time do you usually sleep, man? Are you gonna just crash after this, or?
Normally I finished 1:30.
Oh, okay. I see.
It's something that I learned from being a dad the first time. It's like you take whatever time you have and take care of your family the rest of the time. So I enjoy this time where kid is in bed, have nothing more to do. Like I can't, normally during the day I have something to do in the house, I have something to do in the garden. Like this is the a time that I normally had nothing else. I can just finish my stuff, and I basically with time and doing it more and more, I've learned to be more productive. So
that's good.
But it kind of mess up the kind of sleep schedule and all. Like you don't. It's not the ideal, let's say work sleep schedule. It's not great.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Wait, so what does your wife do, by the way? Does she also do art, or does she?
No,
is
she's
she
a
in
teacher.
her career?
She's a primary school teacher.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Nice. Do you ever visit her classes and do some art stuff with them?
Oh no.
No?
God no.
Oh, too many kids?
Yeah, well, it's not my thing. I chose to not be an art teacher for that very reason. I want to do my art and
Yeah, I feel you.
It could be cool to do stuff with kids and all, but it's just not my thing.
Oh yeah,
I prefer
to
it
definitely is a handful.
Work on a project of biking or participate in something with the parents in my village or something like that. But that's not necessarily related to art. I like to
for sure.
Mix it
you want to keep it separate, right?
I don't want to get angry at a kid that wants to put his fingers in the paint or something. I don't want to ruin. Like art is my my place to be quiet and in peace. I have a kid at home, so I don't need more.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
I really like when my son comes. He's 5 now. Sometimes he comes in and draws alongside me or paints alongside me. And this is something
Nice.
that I really like. This. It's really
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, he's
Teaching-
definitely getting inspired, you know,
Yeah, teaching
from
him
looking
the
at you doing
paints
what
and
you're doing.
all.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I have a baby sister right now, and she's you say your oldest is 5 right now?
Yep.
Yeah, she's yeah, my baby sister, she's like only 3 years older. So, and yeah, because like my dad and my stepmom, they're both artists too, so she's around that environment a lot. So she's also drawing and painting a lot with them too. And I think that kind of environment is really good for, you know, a child, just because they can see, you know, certain things and experience it, and then that can have the impact, you know, like a good positive impact on them long term.
So both your parents are artists as well?
My mom, my mom isn't. My stepmom is. She was actually my first drawing teacher, and my dad is art professor. So, yeah. So they were. So I grew up around that environment too. They didn't really. I mean, my dad didn't teach me. He refused to teach me because he wanted me to find my own thing, which I'm happy that he, you know, decided that, because he and we are very different artists. He does more abstract expressionist paintings, and when he does do realism, it's very different. It's you know, very tight, you know, because he was trained academically, right? So yeah. And my stepmom too, she does hyper realistic, like oil paintings. So she does like layers upon layers upon layers. Like, I remember seeing her painting one time. I thought it looked like a glass print. It didn't even look like a painting, because she had over 100 layers like going on in the painting. Just the eyes alone, I was like, you can like peer into the eyes, right? Yeah. So she was the person that taught me how to draw shapes and stuff. She's really good. She's very good. But, yeah. But it was just kind of like growing up with them, growing up with people like that.
Still a favorable environment for you know, developing creative skills. No matter if like, I think it's good your dad not forcing you to, you know, follow his tracks or anything.
I think so too.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, again, I feel like I don't want handouts. You know, like I felt like, you know, when I graduated, my dad was like, "Hey, you graduated college, great. Hey, listen, come to China. I'll set you up with like a job. I'll set you with like, you know, a position at my university to teach painting." I'm like, no, I refuse. I don't want that. I'm like, I don't want my career to be made because I got a handout from someone. You know what I mean? Like from a family member. I'm like, I don't. You know, and besides, that's not even. I feel like I never would have earned that, right? I never would have been able to get that position if it wasn't for you putting me there. So I'm like, no, if I'm gonna succeed, I want to do it my own way. I don't want you to, you know, like have anything to do with that, right? Because then I'll always feel like it's not really my success.
Yeah, I agree.
And he respected that. He was like, okay. He's like, well, just know, because like I just graduated that time, and he didn't know, but yeah, it's been good so far, right? Yeah. Let's see.
So in chat, Roaring Spark saying, I wonder if art in family is genetic or just nurture. What do you think?
I honestly feel like it's nurture. I don't feel like it's. I mean, maybe some genetics, maybe, right? Maybe, but I mean, you know, I don't know. I think it's, you might have like maybe a couple, like a slightly higher percentage chance of doing this particular thing. But again, I think it's nurture because, you know, you're you know, like okay, like I have a lot of my friends, their parents are artists. Like my friend Maddie, her dad is Michael Shane Neo. Michael Shane Neo is the chairman of Portrait Society. Maddie grew up around Michael Shane Neo and all his clients, and she travels with him to shows and travels with him to workshops. And now, I mean, she and I, we were just demonstrating at Portrait Society, you know, and you know, she's a great painter, but you can definitely see, oh, this, you know, she's studied and been kind of cultivated in that environment through her techniques, you know. And the same can be said for a lot of people that I know who, you know, have parents as artists, right? Or just anything. Like I know one of my friends, both of his parents are dancers, and he also dances with them, and he's really good. But that's also because his parents are really good, you know. So I think, yeah, there might be some genetics in there, right? But I really think it's the things that they kind of happen across when they were kids, you know, kind of like what I was saying before when it comes to talent, right? It's like things that, you know, you, I guess, it's like if you were to like happen across something that really catches your attention, that might be something that will keep you striving to keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
But the opposite can be said. There are times where the kids are nothing like the parents, right? What do you say about that? Like none of Michael Jackson's 3 kids are trying to take his mantle. You know what I mean? You know, like, yeah. They're doing very different things. So, yeah, I think it really is nurture. Maybe a little genetic.
Sometimes they pick something adjacent, like the dad is a painter, and they take music or something like that, or
music
dance,
or filmmaking.
Yeah.
It could be artistic,
and they take inspiration from what they learned in their family, but you know, creatively transpose it to a different medium, and this is cool. That's a great way to, you know,
for sure,
because the kid doesn't want to always be in the shadow of daddy, right?
No, exactly.
That's not ideal.
Exactly, yeah. No,
you
it isn't.
To have
it
your
really
own
isn't.
thing.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, that's the exact reason why my dad didn't want to teach me, because he didn't want me to just be a junior version of him.
Yeah.
You know, he wanted me to have my own thing, which I'm really thankful for.
So this is don't worry, this is Jeff. This is a meme that we have on our channel.
I was like, is that a bug? Did a fly get in your studio? Like, wait, what was that?
It's hard to explain.
Okay.
It's just a meme that we have. Like one day there was a fly in my studio, and somehow my chat got attached to the fly, and they gave it a name. They called it Jeff.
Oh my god!
Like Jeff the Fly, Jeff Goldblum in The Fly, the movie. And so it began. And they were heartbroken when I said that Jeff died and was eaten by a spider. And but then apparently he survived because he was still there the next day. Every time I open my window, I have tons of bugs that fly in. It's annoying.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. It's like that Breaking Bad episode with the fly.
Oh my god, worst filler episode in the entire history. Fillers. Well, actually, it was kind of a creative filler episode, I have to say.
Are you a fan of those? Are you a fan of that series?
I liked it. I don't watch a lot of shows, but this one is like extremely good. Like the writing, it's like unlike anything else, really. Yeah.
Did you watch the sequel, or not the sequel, but like
Better Call Saul?
The Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's actually funny. So you watched that one then?
Sorry? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, actually, a funny story about that. The guy Howard Hamlin, the guy that plays Howard Hamlin, you know, the guy who works at like the company, who, the actor actually, I was able to hang out with him and look at some line decker paintings with him because we were both guests that time at Stockton Con.
Oh,
so
nice.
It was pretty cool. I got to ask him questions about what it was like on the show and stuff.
Nice. Wow, we've got some analysis of this episode. It was a brilliant way to show how destructive obsession can be. He caused so much damage for a damn fly, but at the same time, his method demanded purity. He was stubborn as F. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna lie. Like we have this meme with the fly here with my chat, but I hate it when a fly flies in, and I have to do a whole shtick to get it out. I have to turn off all the lights, close all the window, but open just one, so that eventually it will be attracted by the light and go out again.
I see.
Because the way my studio is set up, it's always flying in my face, basically.
Oh my god.
And it's going to get stuck right over my head. Because there's the ceiling is just higher, like it's pointy and higher above my head. So the fly will just get stuck over here if I don't...
Oh, for real?
If I don't sort of guide it out.
I see.
So what's your most annoying art pet peeve? What is it, like dropping a brush on the floor? What's like your fear, your worst thing, like the little thing that's the most annoying in the studio? What would you say?
Gamsol spilling.
Oh.
Gamsol spilling, that's the worst.
That's horrible.
Because that can stink up the whole room. That's the worst. And are you talking about like my personal pet peeve or pet peeves I get when I look at other paintings?
No, like, annoying stuff, like the Gamsol idea. I have to say I agree totally.
Yeah, Gamsol, because that's just, that's not good, right? And what else? My brushes, although like they don't really do that anymore. Since I start using Treckel, but they still do sometimes because I don't take good care of them. But when the brush kind of splays, you know what I mean, at the end, that's not good. Do you know how to fix that? I still don't know how to fix that. Is there a way that do you have a method to fix that?
The thing is, like, just take good care of them, and it's just the oil, it dries within. And that's and that's what's causing this splaining. So make sure you rinse them. But after some time, like eventually it will happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the inevitable part. Yeah. What else?
What I do hate is like a perfectly good brush, and you drop it on the floor, and after that it's like it's done forever. Like it never gets its shape back.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not
never
good.
happened to you?
No, not really.
Like it happened to me so many times. Like it falls on its head, basically on its tip.
Oh, dang. Okay, then maybe that would do it. Fortunately, that hasn't happened to me yet.
Whoa.
Hopefully I don't jinx myself just now.
Whoa.
Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me yet.
Well, you have sticky hands. Maybe your brush really sticks to your hands.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's because I think I never give it an opportunity to drop because... Oh, I think I know why. I only use one brush most of the time, so I don't like let go of the brush that often. So maybe that's it? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm too lazy to clean all the brushes, so I just try to do everything I can with just one brush. Yeah. So have you ever came out to California before?
No.
No?
Only visited the East Coast.
Okay. Which part of the East Coast?
Washington, D.C. and New York.
Ooh, nice, dude. What did you do in New York?
Basically, I have a friend there, and we just visited, like, basic tourist stuff.
Nice. Did you go to any of the art places?
I went to only in DC. I went to the, how is it called, the Smithsonian.
Mm-hmm.
But no, in New York, I was doing mostly, you know, the touristy
stuff. Gotcha. Nice.
You know, getting in the way of New Yorkers.
Well, next time if you're ever in New York, let me know. I can link you up with some of my friends there, and you can go paint with them.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a lot of good, interesting stuff in New York. There's Art Students League. You get to go paint with like people like Max Ginsberg there. There's Chelsea Classical Studios. There's Grand Central Atelier. There's just a bunch of things that you can probably go check out. I know that's where I was going to most of the time when I was in college. I used to just cut class, and I would just take a bus up to New York and just paint up there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. How's everyone in chat doing? Let's see.
Everybody's doing fine, talking. Really like the brush cleaning technique you shared, where you just wipe it and perhaps have one for dark and one for lights. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are flabbergasted when you say that you don't have to dip the brush in a jar all the time, like in watercolor. Like, a lot of people pick up paint with a water-based technique first, so they imagine that you have to have this little jar.
No.
And you drop your brush in it, rinse it thoroughly, and then pick up some fresh paint. But actually, you don't.
No, you don't. You don't have to. Yeah. Although my teacher does actually do that. Daniel Keys, when he does his alla prima paintings, like he would mix one color, put one stroke, wipe it, clean his brush thoroughly, and then go on to the next stroke. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, yo, how do you have the patience for that? But his colors all look really clean all the time. So I'm like, yeah, maybe that's it.
Well, the problem is, if I do that, I don't know how you control the fluidity, because it's just too fluid at some point. It's like,
oh no, I think he wipes away at yeah.
Oh yeah, so you have to. Oh my god, yeah, you have to exhaust yourself.
Yeah, no, he wipes the brush clean and dry, and then he mixes again. So
oh gosh,
yeah. But I mean, if you've seen Daniel Keys's paintings, like no, I assume it's I guess it works for him.
I'm pretty sure.
I guess it works for him.
It's just.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just a lot, like a lot to take in. Wait, Lauren, I'm curious. What surface do you paint on? Do you paint on panel? Do you paint on canvas? Like
yeah, mostly canvas, linen. Yep.
Nice. Is it more smooth or is it more like textured?
I use fine grain. But
fine grain? Okay, so it's more smooth, right?
Yeah, more smooth. I gesso it. Good. Like I have my own kind of preparation.
Nice. Good. Okay, cool. Now I can talk about my biggest pet peeve when it comes to paintings now. I didn't want to accidentally call you out, but I'm glad that you're not in that crowd. My biggest pet peeve is actually when I see paintings where you can tell they didn't prepare the canvas, and you could just see all the bumps and stuff, like the canvas texture showing through it and overpowering the brush strokes. Yeah. That is my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, I can't enjoy the painting because I'm just getting distracted by the texture of like the canvas.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't like this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, that just screams student painting to me because that's like, it's like students don't prepare their canvases, especially when you can tell it's a student grade canvas. That really distracts me from like the art. I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same way when I'm just weird.
For me, it started when I wanted to record videos of my painting. If I don't gesso the canvas myself, it creates a sort of a moire. I don't know if you see what it means. What is moire? Like with the video, it creates like tiny stripes.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
How a canvas can do that.
Yeah.
So this is super annoying, but if you prepare the canvas and the texture of the canvas is not, you have to just break it off. Like it's just too. I like to have something textured though, so I don't necessarily make a super clean, smooth gesso. But I like to keep some texture.
Oh yeah, no, texture is fine. I think what I'm talking about is just a uniformed texture that comes with like those, cheap canvases and stuff. Yeah. That's the thing that I don't like. That like the little, what I'm talking about, like the little, circly bumps and stuff. Yeah, no, that's nah. I just get distracted. I'm just like, this will be so much of a better. Like even if the painting was amazing, I'd be like, this will be so much better if I can just I can only see the strokes. I don't want to see like the bumps. That's like my biggest pet peeve, I think. Like people like when the canvas isn't prepped. But, yeah.
Alright, so in chat, my pet peeve would be when the weather gets warm, the Prussian and burnt umber begin to set before I'm done working for the day. Yeah, that's annoying.
Wait, that's a thing? I didn't even know that was a thing. Wait, that happens?
Because you work so fast. But yeah.
I think it's also because I'm in like I'm in like an air conditioned room, so it's like the weather is usually the same. Or the temperature is usually.
Well, you go out there in Las Vegas when you get there. You go out in the desert and try to use burnt umber for more than an hour, and you'll see.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Oh, I don't plein air paint, so maybe that's why I don't. I try not to paint in the elements because I don't like standing, so I try to avoid painting in like the elements. I like the romantic idea of a plein air. Do you ever do plein air painting?
I did. I've experimented with it, but I'm not a fan.
Because I see a lot of my friends, they do plein air paintings, and it's freaking amazing, and it's inspiring to see, and but I'm like, damn, I want to do that.
Enjoying it. I'm a plein air painting enjoyer, but I don't like. Every time I did go outside and paint, I ended up fighting against the sun, fighting against the wind, fighting against the elements. Yeah. And it really just like it takes a certain kind of mindset to really be cool with that. And
it does.
I think I don't have it, simply speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy plein air painting. I go out sometimes when it's like a nice gray day. I like doing that. But you're not gonna catch me plein air painting when it's like super blazing hot or blazing sunny.
Yeah, but if it's a gray day, I get way less inspired to go out though.
Oh, really? Oh, I love gray days because I feel like it helps nuance everything. Like all the colors will look more nuanced, and then I can have a little bit more fun with playing with the nuances. Whereas I feel like when it's like a sunny day, it's just like bright yellow, green for like the light of the tree, and then this bright blue shadow for like the shadow of the tree. You know what I mean? Just like
I see.
Looks a little garish at the end. I don't know. Yeah. The gray days actually are perfect for taking documentation or documenting your paintings, like going outside if you don't have a studio to do it in, because the the clouds act as like a natural diffuser, like a light diffuser, so you don't get any glares. That's what I used to do when I was a student. I don't know if you ever done that before.
I have, but yeah, no, it's my studio has pretty even light and all, so I don't
That's
need
good.
this
Oh, you
type
just
of
take the
stuff
pictures.
anymore.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I remember like my ideal plein air is like that one time I was staying at Richard Schmidt's studio. I was staying underneath his studio actually, and then there was like this window, like this door that's also acts as like a window. It's like glass basically. You can see outside. There's like a beautiful like landscape scenery just outside. I was about to go out and plein air paint that because I was at Richard Schmidt's domain. I'm like, I better like just do whatever everyone else here does. But I'm like, wait a second, I don't have to go outside. I can see everything from this window.
Oh, that's the perfect
so I just
spot.
I just set up my painting. I just set up my
That's
painting
awesome.
like literally like by the giant window door, and then I just it was the same experience, but I was in the comfort of like inside.
Yeah.
That's my ideal plein air. If I can just travel with like a glass, like a portable kind of like I don't know. I don't even know, but although I know some people painting their cars. I know one of my friends, she like plein airs in her car and stuff.
Oh.
Like she just like drives around,
Like maybe in a van or something.
In a van, yeah. She has it all set up, like so then it's like all she has to do is just turn. Yeah, it's like actually a pretty cool setup. And then she has like a window on top of the car, so she just like opens that up or just opens the windows to let the air in, when she's painting, and it's like well ventilated.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm like,
why not?
Yeah. If I had a van, I'd probably do that.
Get the Pope mobile with glass walls. Yeah, would be ideal. Make a tiny studio in it. Does he still have the Pope mobile? Maybe. No. Like the Pope used to have this sort of car with.
Oh really? He did?
With glass.
Oh.
So it was like kind of an aquarium, like a fish tank basically.
Oh really? That's interesting.
That would be so hot in there. Yeah, like a greenhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's it has AC. If you can't give the Pope AC, well, who has AC?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm curious, does anybody in the chat go to conventions? Or any conventions? Wouldn't mind saying hi to some of you guys.
Somebody was asking, by the way, in the chat about the book Alla Prima. And
Alla Prima. Oh, wait, what was the question?
But about Richard Schmidt, somebody asked, did he make the book?
Oh yeah, he did. He did. Actually, fun fact. Not about the book, but the person that helped assist him in writing that book, Katie Swatland. If you search up Alla Prima 2, the second book, it says Katie Swatland's name is also on the cover of the book. She's also one of Richard's students, but I like her because she does breakdancing too. So it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Anna Petty went to Comic Artist Convention in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Who else? There's not a lot of people today, so we don't
it's all good.
maybe don't have a lot of convention goers in the chat.
It's all good. Well, if anyone is gonna be going to any of the big ones,
most of the people that I know from listening to their stories, they're mostly like pretty indoor people, not necessarily.
That makes sense.
not necessarily go a lot in conventions like a lot of people are. I lost my word. How is it? Introverts mostly.
That makes sense.
Not everybody.
Honestly,
of course.
I'm the same.
The dominant kind of. You're not introvert guy.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm kind of the same. Like, if it weren't for us having to sell, I probably would never have gone to a convention either.
Nah, you're not. You're a fake introvert. You're very extroverted.
Oh, I am? You
Like,
think I'm extrovert?
Well, yeah, because you like you like painting with friends. You like,
Yeah, I guess
that's what I
so.
call
Yeah.
extrovert.
I guess. I'm very introverted when it comes to playing video games, though. Gotta be by myself.
Yeah. No, maybe. I mean, it's not like a disease though. You can be introvert for some stuff and extrovert
Yeah,
for others.
I know my
it's-
fiance, she's really introverted.
and you can also make an effort.
know.
Like you can be an introvert and make an effort to go out there in the crowd
absolutely.
and just do what you have to do. So it's like
Oh, absolutely.
good.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever have friends around you that you paint with, or no?
No, I don't know. I don't have friends that are artists around where I am.
I see.
So most of my artist friends I know online, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see. Yeah.
Do you have any idea about Sorolla and his painting methods? His stuff is super complex, subject in movements while being outside in the beautiful sun, but it feels like it would be impossible to paint. Pretty much. I've got to say, pretty much. This kind of level, like, this is approaching to almost impossible to paint. Like this is almost genius, so yes, it is going to be difficult if you want to tackle this kind of stuff. But you can get inspired though and try to follow. I don't know, I don't have any clue about this kind of method, so do you? Soraya?
Yeah, Soraya, that's my homie. Yeah, that's my guy. Soraya, so he actually, so here's the thing about Soraya, like, right, like, actually, let me see. Let me just pull up some of his work just to get from, yeah. So a lot of the paintings that you see him doing, because he actually was around when photography was already around too. So a lot of the detailed works that he did, like a lot of the detailed works that he did, he actually, it's like a mix of photography and going out plein airing, like the plein air painting studies that he did outside. He uses the colors from the plein air paintings to help feel basically and help inform him about like where everything else, and then he uses like the details, or he uses the photography to help with the details of like some of the more intricate passes. But yeah, Soraya, like a lot of his paintings, if you see like, you know, there are paintings of like people on the beach and stuff, those are actually not detailed. They create the illusion of detail, but they're actually not detailed. It's just him kind of painting the abstract shapes of like what it is he's seeing it in, but he's doing it in a way where it helps create the illusion of detail, right? But yeah, that's like a majority of his work, and the works that he did, which is like longer studio paintings. Yeah, that's like just a mixture of plein air, like the studies that he did on site, and also photography, and perhaps some drawings. But yeah, that's kind of what I know, because yeah, because I mean Zorn did the same thing. You know, if you look at some of Zorn's watercolor, there's no freaking way that he did those like, you know, in person. No way. Like like all those like intricacies of like water. No, those are from photography. He just used photography as like a you know, as a tool. But because photos, they weren't like in color. You know, they still had to like go out and do color studies of like what the colors are and the shifts, right? The color shifts, you know. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think, Flor? Like that's kind of like just like my take on that.
Yeah, well, this is what I would recommend. This is how I would use plein air myself as well, is not try to
Yeah.
catch it all in situ, but try
No.
to do a
No.
mix of both. I think you have to get there, make a first
Mm-hmm.
work, take a
Yeah.
photo if possible, and then make the main work in the studio. This is
Yeah.
how I would take it. Because I know that this would be just too much pressure to do all plein air. You know,
No,
finish the
it's
thing
actually
all
impossible
plein
to
air.
do that. Yeah, no, it's no, because yeah,
Some artists did this though, like
they
some
did,
still.
but for giant paintings that require a lot of details, there's no because the light will change. You know, light changes, and then it's like yeah, unless you wait for the same day, you come back, but then you have to pose all those people with the same way too, and that's not impossible. You know?
Yeah, so
Um,
Nesto, this is exactly that. So you take the photo just to remember the, you know, the setting, the light, the shadows, and you also, while you're there, you also make a little study, or you make, you know,
mhm.
you study the color while you're there. You're not wasting your time in just taking a photo and bring it home. You do work, and you come back to the studio and you either finish it or do another one. Some do like little studies and do a big painting in the studio, or some just do like kind of the first, you know, couple touches and then finish on the same canvas once they get back to the studio. Depends, like.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely
yeah,
the fact that you can have photography is great aid, because you get to, you know, take your time, focus on what you need to focus on. You don't have the time pressure, especially for light like that. Like how long will the sun stay here?
not long,
Not
not
long.
long at
So
all.
you'll never
No.
have this for more than a couple minutes. So you having a photo is great for that.
Yeah, yeah, but
Otherwise, you have to go more like a painter like Monet would do full plein air, so he would finish the entire thing outside in many times. But you can't have something as fugitive. You have to choose a subject that would be, you know, less likely to move and change,
yeah.
or just keep it in your memory. At some point, these guys are so good that, you know, it basically gets, you know, stuck in their memory, and they can paint just from memory. Even like you have this light, for example. This light was probably very fugitive, and these guys, I know I can't, but these guys, they just they catch the light and the colors for when they see it, and after that it's just they can do it while it's all gray and dark. However, this one, I'm not sure, because if you catch this orange light, it means that soon it's going to be night. If it's a sun, if it's not a sunrise, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. So many things to learn from all these guys. This is why I have this series in my streams, learning from the masters. We study new masters regularly.
Oh,
And
nice.
This is really cool.
That's awesome.
It's usually the most interesting stuff. Like we all get into like nerd mode, studying history, techniques.
Start dissecting. Yeah, that's fun.
That's very cool. Especially with Google Arts and Culture, you can zoom in on the paintings. That's amazing when you want to study up close. Even better than going to the actual museum. How, like, sometimes the resolution is just even better than what your eyes could see.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think the only painter that I feel like photos don't do justice is Sargent. Like every time I see a Sargent painting in real life compared to the photo, I'm like, there's just something. Like in real life, it looks almost like it's glowing, whereas the photo it looks a little more. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he's the only one. I would say a lot.
Oh yeah, no, he's not the only one, but yeah. I think he's just the only one I can think. Like I can think off the top of my head. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I see.
That's
I
why I
see.
usually tell people not to look at Sargent on Google. Just go to museums and look at a Sargent. That's the true experience. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, some of the old masters as well, like the Vermeer, all those guys who
Oh
have
yeah.
like, you know, very subtle glazes as well. Like the photo can't, you know,
No, it
like the
can't. It
visual
really can't.
effect phenomenon of a glaze is really something that the camera can't really pick up.
No. Yeah.
Even if there had been photography, the human eye is much more beautifully capable of seeing color. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it's actually the imperfection of the human eye that it makes things a lot more
Yeah, I would
true
say
and a
it's
lot more
not the
real.
human eye, it's the human imagination, because if you see a lot of these paintings, most of the time the human eye, as you say, is actually exaggerating the colors quite frankly. Like most of the colors
Absolutely.
are slightly exaggerated, and like even the kind of sunset that you have, Kai, in your painting, you could see a sunset, but it would not be as vibrant, it would not be as orange, it would not be as, you know, powerful. So you push it because it's beautiful. And I think this
Oh
is
yeah.
what the human brain does more than the human eye. Like the brain kind of color corrects
Yeah.
because
For
the
sure.
eye kind of sees the boring reality, and the brain says, hey, I don't want this, I want something even better. Hold on.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Hold my brush.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see.
New invention, a painter's tent. Nice. Yeah. A tent, a
Painter's
little
tent.
camp. I think
That'll
some
be fun.
painters do that.
Yeah. Let's see.
The website I was looking is wikiart.org. I'm gonna put it in chat.
Good old wiki art.
I'm gonna put a link in the chat. So is that Christopher Reeves is the question. Who's your model for this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Or is it
It's
an
like
interpretation of your own?
No, it's supposed to be based a bit on Christopher Reeves. Yeah, so no, they're right. Because the client really liked Christopher Reeves, but she says, to kind of make it my own too. But I'm like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I enjoy. I mean, this is my second time painting him. The first time I did it on a comic cover, like those blank comic covers. Oh, thank God, it looks like him. Okay, thank you. That puts my mind at ease. You know what I mean? It's like, have you ever done like commissions where you're just like, or like, oh man, like you don't know, but then like someone else like, oh, that looks exactly like the person. I'm like, you're like, okay, thank God. Okay, I can keep moving on now.
Yep.
Because I think it's like our eyes get tired. We look at something for so long that we don't even know what it is anymore.
Or
We're like,
whenever you put your phone on the painting and the phone has face recognition and you're like, oh, thank God.
oh yeah, that's the best. Yeah, that's the best. Where, yeah, that's usually when I'm like, yes, my phone has a piece of the painting.
The phone
I now know
agrees that it's a face. Gosh, I did well.
It's even better when like the phone or like whenever you're uploading on Facebook, where it auto tags the person.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Like if I put myself
That's
next
the
to
best.
my figures right here, my camera would be completely screwed. Like it would have a hard time. Sometimes it's like I can't take my paintings as background because the autofocus is messed up.
Yeah. Hey, that's good though. It means your painting is realistic enough that it confuses the camera.
Yeah.
They're like, what are all those people doing behind you? Why are they not in the shot?
Yeah. A little satisfaction. see right here. I don't know where it's like, if it's at an angle it doesn't like them, but if we're all there, as soon as I hide my face it's going to pick up someone else, and little thing, you can have fun. But actually I tried, and it can pick up a face at a pretty early stage, even when it's very, you know, just the structure of a face, it can already pick it up. It's kind of I don't know how it, like, if you just basically with just basic masses,
yeah,
it picks it up somehow, like, which is, it just makes sense. Like, basic shapes, that's what you want. That's how you get the likeness, and that's also how the face recognition figures it that it's a face, like the right type of shape around the eye or something like that.
Yeah. Have you ever tried doing stuff like I think on Snapchat there was a thing where it allows you to like switch spaces with another person next to you? I did that with my paintings before. It was the most creepiest thing ever.
No, I never tried this.
Or have you ever had there was an app, I remember this was back in like 2018. There was an app where you take a picture of like a still photo, and it makes the photo talk, or it makes like the person in the photo sing or talk or whatever. So I did it with my paintings, and it made my paintings actually come to life and like speak and stuff. That was really fun. That was trippy.
Korosh in the chat, the Raphael study, I haven't finished it yet, so we'll still have part 4 or something. Like, I'm doing a sort of a Raphael study. I'm sort of taking on a new project of exploring a history of art with master studies, starting from the Renaissance and moving in time, like kind of like a time machine, but I'm gonna try to make a sort of like a little immersive journey kind of video project. So right now I'm working on Raphael. So somebody was asking where's the Raphael painting is. And it's still there.
Do you have it?
You know, my painting schedule is messed up at the moment. I don't paint a lot, so.
I feel you. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun doing the study with you guys yesterday, though. That was like the first time I did a master study in a while, so it was nice to
it was cool.
Get back on it. Yeah. So how long do your paintings usually take you?
Well, if everything goes according to plan, usually a month or 2. But it can also be like a year. Like this one has been, it's been a year. Like I had this, because but not a year of full-time working on it. I abandoned it for like halfway done for a long time.
Okay. Gotcha. You're just returning to it then?
Yeah. But it's like, I took the bad habit of having several, like normally it's my good habit, like I work on several projects at the same time and it makes sense, but I kind of let myself be overwhelmed with how many I have, and you know, kind of losing track and losing, like, you get too many to be inspired by so many at the same time, so you sort of get bored and you feel, oh my god, like you feel lost at some point. So now I've decided like not more than 3. So I've got to finish up all the ones that I've left, because at some point I had like 10, but it was like it was also like kind of borderline burnout of, you know, losing inspiration, hating what I do every
Yeah.
day. So it's not a normal state that made me leave so many paintings in progress on the side for such a like a long time.
Gotcha.
I'm just
gotcha.
waiting for the time to come back. Like I know it's just it happens. It's like that. I know myself.
Okay.
It will go back to normal sooner than later, and we'll see. Or later, I don't know. You can't really say that. Hey, how long does a
Yeah, for
painting
sure.
usually take you?
It depends, honestly. Like something like this, usually maybe like a week. And that's a little bigger. I think the biggest painting I've done, that's the astronaut painting that I did. That one around 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. But my usual paintings take me maybe like 1 to 2 days. Like they don't take me that long, just because I get impatient.
I do have like I used to have a series of smaller canvases, and I would like usually do them in a week. So that's also something, and I should work on more of that because that's what sells the most. I have to say, like the big ones, I make them for posterity, like for the love of art. Like this is what the people like to see, but like nobody's buying them because they're too expensive. They're sometimes I have like stories that are kind of dramatic and like tough. So like the people like to watch them in the gallery. They like to see the big paintings because it's like the drama and like it's like watching a nice movie and all. But they just buy the very small ones that are not as, you know, like less less dramatic, less, you know, more casual basically.
For sure.
But I get bored a lot more by doing them, so it's tough to find the balance between what you like to do
versus what sells, right? Yeah, that's usually the tough balance.
That's all right. And I think when I had like so many paintings in progress and I had to abandon many of them, is because I lost this balance, this nice balance between what I like and what sells and what my gallery wants, and you know, it's not always easy. Like people think it's like the best job. It's still like, well, it's still, I would still say it's the best thing ever, but like the pressure of making stuff that sells, it's still pressure.
Oh yeah,
like
for
any
sure.
other.
For sure. No, that's
Being judged on your art as well is it's always kind of, you know, you're putting yourself out there, so it's the best thing in the world. But again, it's not like you don't get a lot of you know, fear, anxiety. You get stressed a lot about this stuff.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
But I wouldn't trade it for the world. But hey,
no, of course not. Yeah,
like everybody goes through this stuff, I assume.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because at the end of the day, it's still a profession, and with every profession, there comes like the good and the bads too. You know.
Yeah, well, that's life, right?
Yeah.
All right, so do you think you're almost done for today?
I mean, not with this painting, but yeah, we can wrap up anytime. Yeah.
All right, so should we have an emoji wall before we leave? I don't know if my mods are here or not. Cody, emoji wall or no emoji wall?
Oh, is Cody one of your mods?
Yes, he is.
Oh, nice.
Warning, emoji wall starts in 10,
it starts.
9,
so
8,
you get
7,
in the chat and you
6,
type emojis
5,
in chat. That's
4,
all.
3, 2, 1, go.
What?
Emoji wall unlocked. This is chaos.
Alright.
Seriously,
Emoji
we need
wall
to
is
break
starting
YouTube with
now.
emojis. We have 1 minute. Let's go, chat. We can do
So,
it.
and because I don't have my
Let's
camera,
go,
it's
chat.
just a black screen, but it's even better. It's like the
Quick.
void.
Spam emojis. We need to fill the screen.
Oh,
No
wow.
time to waste. I'm serious.
So every
We
time
have
they
to spam
put an
emojis in
emoji
chat
in
now
chat,
before the
fills
timer
the
runs
screen,
out. Hurry up.
pops
Oh,
over
for real?
Quick. Let's go
a little
chat.
emoji.
Oh, that's so funny.
We have to spam emojis in chat now before the timer runs out. No time to waste. I'm serious. Hurry up. Quick. Let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's go chat.
Jeff
Hurry
participates.
up. It ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
And there you go.
Emoji
this is
cooldown.
emoji wall. This is our stuff. This
Oh, that
is
was That was
normally
fun.
when we have guests, they don't really know what's going
My
on.
name is Steven and I am a text-to-speech voice.
Hello, Steven.
No, that's fun. So yeah, no, thanks again for having me today, man. Had a good
Yeah,
time.
it was awesome, man. Thanks for everything, and good luck for all your conventions or your stuff. And
Sometimes
man.
I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going.
Steven, stop
I just
talking.
hope I find it along the way.
Steven, stop. Unfortunately, I can't control Steven. They control it.
Oh, for real?
Yes, they do. Well, everybody can control Steven actually, but I can turn it off. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for participating, man. It's not easy to speak and paint at the same time. I know I didn't do much on my own painting, man. But hey,
Oh, it's good, man. No,
I
I
love
prefer
the
it.
discussion, and I loved talking to you, man.
Yeah, same to you. Same to you.
Should do it again sometime.
can do
I'm
this
gonna
some
say,
other time. Yeah, for sure.
let's just say goodbye to chat and stay in our private chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody, thank you for watching this. I'll see you for the next one, my friends. As always, joy and inspiration to you. Say goodbye to Kai.
See you guys.
And